ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम. We are studying Anandamayadhikarana of the Shankara Bhashya of the Anandamaya Adhikarana in Brahma Sutra. Whole purpose of Brahma Sutra, which is being repeatedly told, is to know as far as possible the precise nature of the ultimate reality. Now, the question that we need to ask about the nature of Brahma is to stimulate the intellect, buddhi, to think, because that is the only instrument that we have in our hand, and by repetitive thinking or thoughts, with the help of as much refined buddhi as we can think of Brahma from different angles so as to get the faint idea of what the Brahma may be. Being in this world, we are faced with certain questions. And one of the questions that we are always faced with is, when did the world start? The creation, when did it start? Incidentally, the same question was put to Swami Vivekananda on 8th of February 1897 in Chennai, Madras, by one of the learned Pandit. And the answer given by Vivekananda to this question as to when did the creation begin, he said, these questions do not have any locus standi in the realm of Brahma. Kala, or the time, is within the creation. So to say when something started or when something ended is possible only after the creation. Try to understand the difficulty. Creation, once it has started, we can say when it started, when it is going to end, what anything in this world we can say it starts here, it ends there. Why? Because the time is there within the creation. Beyond the creation, the time is not there. And when time is not there, how can we say that the creation began? Just for the sake of understanding, suppose we are in the Brahma, or we are the Brahma. Now we have no time. The time as a dimension does not exist at all. When time as a dimension is absent, can we say when? And similarly, when the space as a dimension is absent, can we say where? When and where? These two parameters are completely absent in Brahma. And when these two parameters are absent, when time is not there and space is not there, how do we say that creation began? Supposing that a snake is moving, we can say a snake is moving there. There because we are able to identify a space where the snake is moving, and we are able to identify it as a space because we are away from that space. Snake is away from me, so I can say snake is there. So for me to identify anything, space is required. If the space itself is absent, who will identify whom? After the creation, everything can be spoken about. That there are devatas, there are panchamahabhutas, there is ashtadha prakruti, there are indriyas, there is buddhi, there is antakarana, there is karmendriya, there is jnanendriya. All these are possible to be thought of within the creation. Because all these require two dimensions. One is space, another is time. When both the dimension called space and time are absent, nothing can be said. If Brahma or ultimate reality is something where time and space is absent, question of creation does not arise. So when the question was put to Swami Vivekananda as to when did creation start, he said it cannot be answered. Why it cannot be answered? Within this creation, within the creation means within the time and space, question can be put. Answer lies beyond space and time. But when you are beyond space and time, the question itself doesn't arise. Precisely for this reason, in Buddha Tattva Jnana, there are 10 avakruta prashna. Avakruta means that about which no comment can be made. Bhagwan Gautam Buddha himself to his disciple said that, do not ask me these 10 questions because they have no answers when you are asking it. And you will get all the answers when you go beyond space and time. And the disciple said, sir, at least at that place we will get the answer. He said, no. There you don't get answer to these questions. The difference is questions do not remain. One who is within the creation will ask a question, when did the creation start? And he will not get the answer. And the one who is in Brahmi Bhuta, at the Brahma Avastha, he will not get the answer because there will be no question left. It's quite a interesting paradox. And that being the reason, nature of Brahma is always a mystery. Ultimate reality is and will remain a mystery for the one who is bound by space and time. In the creation, that has never happened. We are studying Brahma Sutra. How paradoxical it is. You are not true. I am not true. Brahma Sutra session is not true. And yet everything is happening. We have firm conviction that there is a session on Brahma Sutra going on at 5:30 in the morning on Monday from 5:30 to 6:30. We are convinced about it. Yet it is not happening. It sounds ridiculous for us that what is right now happening, you are denying it. It is happening because it has time and space. You and I are separated by the space, and we are bound by a time which is flowing forward. So a session on Brahma Sutra is possible in creation, which is presumed by you and me being bound by space and time. Moment you and I go beyond the space and the time, that means when we become Brahmi Bhuta, no you, no I, no Brahma Sutra session, no 5:30 a.m. in the morning, no evening, no night, no creation, no individualization, nothing. Because of this difficulty, Shruti being the only place where those stalwarts rishis, because they realized Brahma, they spoke about it. What they spoke is not clear to us. So Upashrava or somebody wrote the Brahma Sutra, Badarayan Rishi. That what the Badarayan Rishi wrote was also very mystical. So Shankaracharya wrote Bhashyam on it. And that Bhashyam was written because what is the precise meaning of those utterances made by the Rishis in the Upanishada, Vedanta part of the Veda, about the Brahma and trying to fix the nature of the Brahma. That is why we are having this particular session. So in Brahma Sutra, the word Anandamaya comes again and again, again and again, again and again. So this Anandamaya, is it the description of Brahma or not? That is $1 million question. Again and again, repetitively, Ananda, Anandamaya, Ananda, Anandamaya. This word is repeated in Vedas, in Vedanta part, even in the mantra part also. So what does this Anandamaya means? Does it mean Parabrahma, that is beyond creation? or does it mean something of the Jiva within the creation? And that is why the sutra starts with Anandamaya Adhikarana. The first sutra is Anandamayo Abhyasat. Anandamaya is nothing else but Parabrahma only. Why? Because Abhyasat. What is Abhyasa? Anubhuti Purva repetition is called Abhyasa. That which is done, that which is experienced, if it is experienced again and again, again and again, it is called Abhyasa. That which is done repeatedly, frequently is called Abhyasa. So, Anandamayo Abhyasat means what? Anandamaya, this word is repeated in Vedanta. And when something is repeated, that means it is the main purport of the discussion. Why do you say so? On what basis this repetition of a word means the real reason of that particular discussion? This is because of Shadalinga. What is Shadalinga? Shada means 6, Linga means the mark or the indicators. 6 indicators are there in every grantha. Otherwise, it is not called as a scripture or the grantha. The novel of James Hadley Chase, which we read, is not a grantha. Kadambari novel is not a grantha. Veda is a grantha. Gita, Bhagavad Gita is a grantha. Why? Because grantha has 6 indicators or the markers called Shadalinga, Shadachinha. What is the first one? Upakrama Upasamvara. Upakrama Upasamvara means what you start with and what you end with, it must be in consonance with each other. I have started teaching law of physics and I ended teaching chemistry. That cannot happen. That is not how it is done. The beginning and the end should have harmony with each other. Because in the beginning, you try to put forth a subject, and in the end, you try to prove that subject. But the subject remains same at both the ends. So, upakrama, upasamvara. How this is done in Veda? Sadaiva saumya agre asit ekameva dvitiyam. Chandogya Upanishad starts with this. So this is called upakrama. Sadaiva saumya agre asit ekameva dvitiyam. That which is always existing, one without any other parallel, ekameva advitiya. That means the varnan of Atma is the upakrama. And tat satyam sa Atma tattvamasi shveta keto. In the Chandogya Upanishad, end is by He Shveta Keto, that is the Atma. That means the beginning and the end are in consonance, in harmony with each other. Upakrama, Upasamvara is in consonance. This is the first sign of the Shadalingas of a Grantha. Second sign is Abhyasa, frequent repetition. If one thing you want to stress, you repeat that stress in your entire speech. Even in the normal speech which is delivered, like what we are talking about Brahma Sutra, the word Brahma will come again and again. Brahma will come. Why? Brahma is the subject. So Abhyasat means that which is frequently repeated. Uddalaka says to Shvetaketo, Tattvamasi, 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 9 times he says Tattvamasi. That means Tattvamasi is the subject. Thou art that. Third linga is Apurvata. Apurvata, unprecedentedness. The Grantha has to say something which has not been said earlier at all, something very, very special and peculiar. Apurva. It hasn't happened in the past. So we know that in this world, everything is accessible through pramanas, either pratyaksha, anumana, or upamana. These are the three pramanas. Everything is accessible to pramanas, while in Upanishads, something has been discussed about which no pramanas apply. That means it is apurva, special, exclusive. Brahma is exclusive. Apurvata. Arthavad is the fourth one. In Arthavad, explanatory statements are given. For example, Brahma sustains, creates, destroys. These kind of words are used in Upanishad. But it is not true. Brahma is nirvikar. There is no vikara in it. How can it create and how can it destroy? Akriya. Brahma is akriya. It doesn't do anything. If it doesn't do anything, how it has created the world? It creates the world, it destroys the world. This is called Arthavad. This is exaggeration so that we understand it. It becomes easier to understand. It is possible for the tree to flower because of Brahma. Now, Brahma does nothing. How it can flower the tree? But for the sake of understanding, Arthavad, exaggeration is used so that our intellect can understand it. And the next linga is Upapatti or Drushtanta. Drushtanta, like the clay makes the pots, all the pots have same thing as clay, all the ornaments have same gold in it. Similarly, all that is created has nothing else but Brahma in it. Now this is called Upapatti or Drushtanta. So this is how through 6 different indicators or linga, a Grantha is established. And this is taken as standard. Veda being the Grantha, Upanishad being the part of it, and Anandamaya word being repeatedly used everywhere, that means Anandamaya Abhyasat. So Anandamaya is indicating nothing else but Brahma or Parabrahma. Mind well, we are talking of Anandamaya, not Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya usually rings the bell in the mind as Anandamaya Kosha. But in Upanishads, where this Anandamaya word is coming, it is not coming in the form of a kosha, but it is coming in the form of Parabrahma only. That is what Brahma Sutra is trying to explain. Why? Because Anandamaya is a very confusing word. Is it Anandamaya kosha or is it Anandamaya? Full stop. And such confusions are the one which are to be cleared. That is why Brahma Sutra is written. That is why Anandamayo Abhyasat. And why did this doubt came in the mind? It came because of one Upanishad called Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad has one shloka which is the basis of this entire Anandamaya Adhikaran. What is that particular shloka? Taittiriya ke, in the Taittiriya, Annamayam Pranamayam Manomayam Vijnanamayam cha Anukrame Amnayate Tasmat va etasmat Vijnanamayat Anya Anyontara Anandamaya iti. Taittiriya Upanishad says Atma is Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and then it says different than the Vijnanamaya is Anandamaya Atma, tatra samshayah. That is why the doubt comes to the mind. What is the samshaya? Kimu iha? What is this? Kimu iha Anandamaya shabdena parameva Brahma shabda uchyate? Does the Anandamaya word means Parabrahma or not? Is the samshaya, tatra samshayah. This is the basis of Anandamaya Adhikarana. That which is described as Satyam Jnanam Anantam, does Anandamaya means Parabrahma as said in Satyam Jnanam Anantam, or it is something different as stated in the lines of Annamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, etc. In other words, Anandamaya is a part of the Jiva, or Anandamaya means Atma or Parabrahma? That is the $1,000,000 question. The Purva Paksha says, Brahmano Arthantaram Mukhya Anandamaya Syat. In my opinion, the Purva Paksha person is saying, in my opinion, an entity called Atma or something different than the Brahma is stated here. It is not Brahma. Anandamaya is not Brahma, according to the Purva Paksha. Why? Because the Taittiriya Upanishad says, Tasya esha eva sharira atma yah purvasya tasmat va etasmat vijnanamayat anyuntara atma anandamayaha tena esha purna sava esha purusha vidha eva tasya purusha vidhatam anvayam purusha vidha tasya priyam eva shiraha modo dakshina pakshaha pramoda uttara pakshaha pucham pratishtha ananda atma. In Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a Brahmananda Valli. Brahmananda Valli is talking about Brahma only in the form of Ananda. And there it says, different from the self made up of intellect or Vijnanamaya Kosh is another self within, formed by the bliss or the Ananda. By the Anandamaya, Vijnanamaya is full. According to human form of that Anandamaya, joy or Priya is his head. Rejoicing or Moda is the left wing. Bliss or Pramoda is its right wing. And Brahma is the tail support. This particular Valli has a shlok which says that Brahma has Moda as it's the head, Priya as the head, Moda as the right wing, Pramoda as the left wing, and the tail is Brahma. This is how it is described there. The question comes here, this description is for the Anandamaya Kosha, meaning part of these 5 koshas, or it is for Anandamaya only, which is nothing else but Brahma. Purva Paksha is now making the preparation. Purva Paksha says, Anandamaya is a kosha, not Brahma. Why? Had it been Brahma, they would say only Ananda. Why Ananda Maya? Maya means what? Maya means vikar. Anna Maya. That means predominantly made by Anna. Manomaya, predominantly made by Mana. Pranamaya, predominantly made by Prana. Vijnanamaya, predominantly made by Vijnana. So Anandamaya, predominantly made up of Ananda, but not Brahma. This is Purva Paksha. Second argument of Purva Paksha is, It's very clear. One kosha, then second kosha, then third kosha, then fourth kosha, and then the fifth kosha. Pancha koshas are described. Why are you trying to take the fifth one out and say, oh, it is Brahma? I am describing cover, undercover, and suddenly I say something which is not covered. It doesn't sound natural. So Anandamaya means Anandamaya kosha, not Parabrahma. Anandamaya is something belonging to the Jiva. It is not Parabrahma. Second argument of Purva Paksha. Third is, look at the shloka. What is it saying? Brahma has Priya as its head. Priya Shiraha Moda Uttar Pakshaha Pramoda Dakshina Pakshaha and Brahma Puchya Pratishtha. Means what it is talking? It is saying that in Anandamaya Kosha, there is a joy, there is a bliss, Priya, Moda, Ananda, and Brahma. Different they are described. That means these are different parts of the Anandamaya. Anything which has a part cannot be Brahma. So it is part of Jiva. It is a Kosha. It is not proper Brahma. Before going further, quickly we'll try to understand what is Priya, Moda, and Pramoda. In this entire world, what are we doing? Lots of activities we are doing, lots and lots of activities. But why do we do these activities? Because something is dear to me. Money is dear to me. Sex is dear to me. Food is dear to me. Because this is all priya to me. If is neem leaves are bitter in nature, are they priya? No. Nobody wants to eat neem leaves. Why? They are not priya. Is the stone priya to me? No. So what happens? The stone remains lying there wherever it is. But $100 or 100 dirham note, no, it cannot lie there. I will immediately take it. Priya. So there is a priyatva, and everybody's priyatva need not be same. For a rat, anything that is decaying also is priya to him, not to us. That means there is nothing in this world which is not priya. It may be priya to somebody, may not be priya to another person. But the fact remains that certain things are only priya to us. Priya means priyatva, liking, desiring. You desire it. Why? Because you like it. A mango. Yes, I would like to have it. I would like to have it is priya. Now the mango comes to you. It is in your possession. You are further happy. This happiness is different than the desire to have the mango. Because desire to have the mango is, there is an anxiousness in you, whether I will get it or not. But when you have it when you actually have it in your hand, now the anxiety of whether I will have it or not is gone. So this joy which you get compared to the joy that you got when you were desiring it is different. A mango in the hand gives different happiness than the mango which is not in the hand. So apnoti, after you obtain it, it's a different kind of. There is a lady that I want to marry her. She's so beautiful. I wish I could have her as my wife. This is priyatva. So that's why she is called preyasi. I want her. But after you marry, then what happens? There is also joy in it, but not the same as what when you were desiring when she was not yours. So that is called priyatva. This is called moda. So mango in the market is priya. Mango in my hand is moda. But these two, both priyatva and modatva, is nothing compared to when I actually eat the mango. When I eat it, the joy is different than desiring the mango or possessing the mango. Desiring the mango, different happiness. Possessing the mango, different happiness. Eating the mango, different happiness. These three are different types of happiness. So it is called priyatva, modatva, pramodatva. Priya, mod, pramod. Is there anything in this world we do other than these three? Ask a question to observe. Everything that we do in this world is hovering around these three things. If these are the three things for which we do, suppose you are not at all interested in anything, there is no desire, you don't want anything, there is no priyatva in this world, it's called paravairagya. Nothing in this world entices you. When you don't desire anything, can there be modatva and pramodatva? When desire itself is not there, where is the question of possessing an enjoyment? When priyatva goes away, modatva and pramodatva automatically goes away. Then what happens to such a person? Brahma eva puchha. Only Brahma remains. And the one who is interested in these three, one who has priyatva, automatically has modatva, automatically has pramodatva. When these three things are existing, he is existing in the world. But at the essence, he is existing for these three because Brahma being Ananda Swarupa, it is Brahma which exhibits into these three forms in this world. We do not realize it. We think it is the mango that gives me happiness. The happiness is not in mango. Happiness is the nature of Brahma. You being Brahma, by nature, you become happy. The happiness doesn't come from the mango. Happiness comes through the mango because of the Brahma or the Chaitanya. But the Purva Pakshi says, if Priyatva, Modatva, Pramodatva, Brahma is Pucham, this is how Taittiriya Upanishad is describing this Anandamaya. That means it is talking of parts, Avayava, Priya, Moda. These are Avayava, parts of the Brahma. And Brahma is partless. That means Anandamaya is not Brahma. Anandamaya is a part of the Jiva only. Because Jiva has parts, Avayavi. Brahma is Niravayava. Everything else is Savayava. Prakriti is Savayava. So this is talking about Prakriti. It is not talking about Brahma. So Anandamaya is not Parabrahma. Purva Paksha, argument number 3. And the fourth argument is, Purva Paksha argument is, look at the word itself. What is the word? Anandamaya. Can you not see the word Maya in Anandamaya? Maya means what? Maya means modification. Otherwise, they would have said only Ananda. Why Anandamaya? Ananda, yes. Anna is food. We know that. There is a rice in the plate. What is the rice? Anna. But what is the Sharira? Annamaya means what? Predominantly made by Anna. Made by means there is Vikara. This Anna that I ate made my body Annamaya. Had my body been Anna, then there is no difference between rice and me. Rice is Anna, but when I eat it, I become Annamaya, predominantly made up of Anna. That means that rice undergoes modification in making my body. That means Maya word indicates modification or vikar. And if that is the case, Anandamaya cannot be Parabrahma because Parabrahma doesn't have vikar or modification. So objection sustained. Purva Paksha has given 4 arguments saying that Anandamaya means not Brahma but part of Prakriti or the Jiva. If we interpret it this way, the meaning of Veda changes. If we interpret Anandamaya means Parabrahma, interpretation changes. That is the reason why hair-splitting arguments are being given here in Shankar Bhashya. Shankaracharya felt like writing Bhashya because the only source is Upanishad to know the ultimate truth. And that itself has got contradictory statements, apparently contradictory. So there has to be Samanvaya. We have seen Samanvaya Adhikaran. A right interpretation is required. That is why the discussion, the Purva Paksha, the Uttar Paksha, and the hair-splitting argument. Now the Siddhanta Paksha or the Uttar Paksha is now giving answers to the objection. The first answer to the objection is Anandamaya is referring to the Brahma only because of Abhyasat. Out of the Shadalinga, repetition, frequent repetition, Abhyasa of Anandamaya word is there. Everywhere you see Ananda, Anandamaya, Ananda, Anandamaya, that means they are speaking of Parabrahma only. Anandamaya prastyutya raso vaisaha ityadi tasya eva rasatva mukta uchyate. By being as Brahma is Anandamaya, it is said it is Ras or the highest bliss. Raso hi heva ayam labdhva anandi bhavati. After getting the Brahma Rasa, everybody becomes Anandi. Again, Ananda word has come. Yad esh akashaha anando na syat kahi eva anyat kaha pranyat. If this Akash was not Ananda Rupa, who would breathe and who would leave? It is there in Upanishad. So if so many places it is written, it is stated that Anandamaya Rasa is what one gets, then that Anandamaya is reference to the Parabrahma only, not to the Jiva or the Prakriti. One part. Second, in the sleep, we are in the Anandamaya Kosha, but we return to the world of sorrows. But Anandamaya, not Kosha, Anandamaya being the nature of the Parabrahma, one who reaches there doesn't return. So this is first argument. Second argument, that you were saying Maya means Vikar. Annamaya, Anandamaya. Maya means Vikar, modification. It is not so. Why? If you think it is Vikara Vachak Shabda, we say Maya means there is another meaning in Panini's Vyakarana. Maya means Prachurya. Maya is not modification. Maya is pervaded by. Anandamaya, pervaded by Ananda. And pervasion by anything is not modification. Maya means Vikruti or Vikar according to Purva Paksha. But according to Siddhanta Paksha, Maya means mayat dhatu. Mayat dhatu means prachuryata, abundance, pervasion. So Anandamaya means pervaded by Ananda. Yes, Brahma is pervaded by Ananda. So it is referring to Parabrahma only. आनंद प्रचुरत्वं च ब्रह्मणो मनुष्यत्वात् आरभ्यो उत्तर अस्मिन् स्थाने शतगुण आनंद इति उक्त्वा ब्रह्मानंदस्य निरातिशयत्व अवधारणात्. The way starting from Manushananda, then Gandharvananda, etc., multiplying 100 times, ultimately Brahmananda has been told in the Upanishads. So Anandamaya is nothing but Parabrahma. Another argument is Tad Hetu Vyapadeshacha, the 14th Sutra. Brahma is said to be the cause of Ananda. Vyapadesha is declaration. Hetu means Karana. Tad Hetu. Anandasya Hetu Brahma. Brahma is the Karan for the Ananda. That is why, because there are other Upanishad statements also to support it. Esha eva hi ananda yati. In Taittiriya Upanishad, another richa is there. Esha eva hi ananda yati. He alone causes bliss. He is the reason for the ananda. Ananda yati, one which gives ananda. One which gives ananda must be full of ananda, because one who gives has to have it. यह अन्येषा धनिकत्वम आपादयति स प्रचुर धनः. Whom do we call as wealthy person? One who is full of wealth and is able to give wealth to somebody is called wealthy. Similarly, one who is full of ananda can only give ananda. So he is ananda yati, giver of the bliss. Esh evahi ananda yati. This is how Taittiriya Upanishad also says about Parabrahma. That means Anandamaya is Brahma, according to Siddhanta Paksha. Also Siddhanta Paksha says, Mantra Varnikam evacha giyate. Next sutra says, Mantra Varnikam means, in the mantra portion of the Veda, if you see in Upanishad portion of the Veda, if you see in Aranyaka portion of Veda, everywhere the same Ananda word is used. And there has to be in consonance with it, because Veda cannot say something different in mantra portion, something different in Upanishada portion. That means mantra varnikam cha giyate. That which is foretold in mantra samhita, same Brahma is mentioned in Upanishada. Brahmavid apnoti param. Beginning this, the one who obtains Brahma, or one who becomes Brahmi Bhuta, he achieves the highest. And then Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, up to this point, it is referring to the same Ananda. Therefore, Yasmat Akashadi Kramena Sthavar Jangamani Bhutat Ajayanta Yachcha Bhutani Sruštva Tan Anupravishya. That means after producing Akash and then Panchama Bhuta, Sthavar and Jangama was produced and it resided in it. Ayontara Atma, different than this is Atma, different than this is Atma, which is inner, and the same is continued in Taittiriya Upanishad as Ayontara Atma Anandamayaha. Very straightforward rucha is there, which says Ayontara Atma Anandamayaha. Inside this is the Anandamaya Atma. That means it is referring only to Brahma. Thus, Mantra Samhita and Upanishad have harmony in saying that inside is Atma. Otherwise, it will be a dosha. That dosha is called Prakruta Hani. Prakruta Prakriya Syatam Prakruta Hani. Meaning, you start in Mantra portion with something else, you end in Upanishad with something else. There will be disharmony, and Vedas are perfect. There is no disharmony. That is how it is referring in the beginning to Parabrahma as Anandamaya. It is referring to Parabrahma only as Anandamaya in Uttara Paksha. Another argument given by Siddhanta Paksha is Na itar anupapatte. Na itar anupapatte means no one else can do utpatti of Ananda. The entire Prakriti is insentient or jada. So Jiva is jada. Only Chaitanya has got Chaitana. Consciousness, ultimate consciousness, reality, Brahma, Atma, that is Chaitanya Purna. Rest everything is Prakriti. When Prakriti is insentient or jada, how it can produce Ananda? Pradhana cannot produce Ananda. How it can produce Ananda? Because to produce Ananda, you should have the possibility to produce Ananda. Jada has nothing. Jada cannot do anything on its own. Buddhi is what? Jada. So can Buddhi produce Ananda? No. One of the beautiful example of this is, we all know, computer has Buddhi or no? Ask a question to yourself. Does computer have brain, Buddhi or not? All right, it requires some logic to be fed into it. Agreed. But after the logic is fed, is it not that it calculates so many things on its own? We are told in our childhood that 2 plus 2 is 4. We learn it. But later on, we do all the additions on our own. That is because of what? Oh, because of my Buddhi. Then the computer, when it is told 2 plus 2, 4, it also does a lot of calculation. It does have Buddhi or no? It does have Buddhi. Nishyatmaka Vritti Buddhi. But a definitive solution is given by the computer based on whatever has been fed into it. If the brain is fed with a cooking recipe, a best food is made up by that cook. He is told that this is spice, this is flour, this is oil, this is frying. And then taking those inputs, a cook makes fantastic food, and we call it cook is very intelligent. Utilization of inputs given or obtained from the surroundings by the Indriyas and making use of it to produce something, to create something, is called intellectual activity, isn't it? If that is the case, then does computer have brain or not? It has. It has Buddhi. But does computer produce Ananda? Ananda is not the nature of the Buddhi. Why? Ananda is the essential aspect of Chaitanya, not a Jada. Jada cannot give because it doesn't have, it cannot give. What it doesn't have, one cannot give. So Buddhi doesn't have Ananda, so Buddhi cannot give Ananda. Ananda is only possible for Parabrahma. Na itara anupapatte. No one else can produce it. And what is the rucha that is supporting us? Sa akamayat bahusyam prajayeti idam sarvasrujat. He desired ekoham bahusyam. First of all, who can desire? Who has a capacity to desire? Can Buddhi desire? Can Buddhi desire? Through Buddhi, desire is possible. Agreed. But can Buddhi desire? No. Why? Ichha Shakti is inherent in Parabrahma, no one else. Computer does Buddhi Yukta calculation. Agreed. But can computer on its own desire that I will do this calculation? No. Why? it is Jada. Similarly, this computer is a Jada. So, Ekoham Bahushyam, this Sankalpa cannot be there to anybody else except the one who has ability to desire. Parabrahma has ability to desire, so he desired, and then the creation, etc., all blah, blah, blah happened. Why? Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana. In other words, Zaniv, Kriya and Ichha. Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. If these three are not there, creation is not possible. Impossible. And who has these three? Only Parabrahma has these three. So it's clear. Ekoham Bahusyam. If that is said, that means Ananda Maya is referring to Parabrahma only. This is 16th Sutra and another support to Brahma. Bheda Vyapadesha Cha is the next sutra. 17th sutra is Bheda Vyapadesha Cha. Vyapadesha means declaration. Bheda means difference. What is the Bheda Vyapadesha? What is the declaration? Anandamaya adhikare raso vai saha rasam hi evaya labdhva anandi bhavati. This is what the Upanishad says. Raso vai saha. He is rasa. And by obtaining or having that rasa, jiva becomes anandi. So who becomes anandi? Jiva becomes anandi. By obtaining what? By obtaining ananda, jiva becomes anandi. That means jiva takes ananda from whom? From the one who has ananda. Who has ananda? The one who is anandamaya parabrahma. One is the taker of ananda, one is giver of ananda. So giver of ananda has to be anandamaya. So anandamaya is parabrahma. How can anandamaya be jiva? If jiva itself is anandamaya, why will it ask for the anandam? The jiva becomes anandi. Why? Because he basks into the glory of bliss. The samsari jiva then obtains ananda and becomes anandi. He obtains ananda or he becomes anandi. That means the jiva receives it from somebody. Who is that somebody? Somebody who is anandamaya, who is full of bliss. Because of this, sir, whatever has been mentioned as anandamaya, anandamaya is referring to Parabrahma. Another argument. So jiva is the receiver of ananda, Brahma is the giver of ananda. Next sutra, Kamacha na anumana apeksha. Kama, Kamacha, Kamatcha becomes Kamacha. Kamat cha anna anumana apeksha. Anumana means that which is possible to be inferred. What is possible to be inferred? Only Prakriti is possible to be inferred. Anuman as a pramana is applicable only to Prakriti. It cannot be applied to Brahma. So Kamat cha na anumana apeksha, that means Prakriti cannot desire. Only possible, the desiring is possible, or Kama, Ichha, desire, Ichha Shakti is possible only for Brahma. So Anandamaya is referring to Brahma only. One by one arguments are given by the Sutrakara, Uttar Paksha or Siddhanta Paksha, to refute any doubt in the mind whether the word Anandamaya that has come at different places, including sometimes Ananda, sometimes Anandamaya, is it referring to a part of the Jiva or it is referring to Parabrahma? is clearly being dissected and put in front to establish the fact that Anandamaya refers to Parabrahma only. The argument still continues. There are few more arguments left, and then it will conclude that Anandamaya means Parabrahma, and then Brahma Sutra will jump to another doubt that is there about Upanishad. All the doubts about interpretation of Upanishadic statements are to be cleared. That is the main aim of Brahma Sutra. In 555 sutras, through different adhikaranas, that means subjects, Brahma Sutra's aim is to refute, to wash away, to clear the dust that may fall upon the interpretation of the words that are there in the Upanishads, because in the Upanishads, those rishis wrote it in that avastha wherein they were not written with the view that tomorrow so many people will read it, they should understand it. All these things do not exist because they were in that state, in which state only some utterances came. That is how those threads of what the rishis have spoken, that have been caught in Veda. Now those threads are so nimble and so subtle. Somebody has to properly interpret it so that wrong interpretation need not be there. That is why these stalwarts like Ramanujacharya and Shankaracharya and everyone is trying to get into Brahma Sutra to interpret it, so that we have a clear and a straight path to reach towards the Brahma. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Sanjay, today's session is very profound. Repeated hearing is required for today's session. You have given some 6 indicators like Upakrama, Upasavara, Abhyasa, Apurvada, Arthavada, and Upapatti. 6th one is missed, I think. I missed it. What was the 6th one?
In fact, it is not you missed it. I also missed it. I couldn't recollect the 6th one. I spoke about 5. The 6th one slipped my mind, but I will put it in the chat.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Now we are
limitations.
Yeah. This is very deep. It's beyond our comprehension. In normal comprehension, you need a regular practice or regular listening, regular reading. Then only it will go into the mind. Otherwise, it is only superficially we are learning. Now, Priya, Pramoda, Moda, and Brahma. You mentioned that. And what I understand, the Brahma is driving actually Brahma is the driver of Priya, Moda, and Pramoda, isn't it?
Absolutely. But since it is the driver, it is described as a bird having its sheer head as Priya, Moda and Pramoda as its wings, and its Pucha as Brahma. But because it is described in this manner, the Purva Pakshi has caught on to that, saying that, look, it is described as parts. Parts means avayava. And that is why this is not the description of Brahma, because Brahma is a Nira-avayava. So that is why the Siddhanta Paksha or the Badarayana Rishi is saying that this is for our understanding. Okay. And here the parts Priya, Moda and Pramoda is possible because of Brahma only, because the tail part called Pucha. Now Pucha has 2 meanings in Sanskrit. Again, this is dissecting it into Sanskrit grammar. Pucha also means the support. So what the Uttar Paksha says, that Siddhanta Paksha, that because of Brahma only these three aspects of Ananda are given to the Jiva in the samsara. So all the three are possible because of Brahma. So these are not parts. It is for the sake of explanation for our buddhi. It has been given in this manner. This is how Siddhanta Paksha is mentioning it. Hariyo.
One more question. Now, question is within the universe or within the time and space, and the answer lies beyond time and space. That means we are not born.
Yes.
Yes.
Prashna, Buddha, as I told you, when Buddha's Shishya came and asked him these
Yeah,
questions, that
that question. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, 10 questions he asked. Of course, we will not go into those 10 questions. Well, few of the questions are like whether the world was created and whether the world will end or not. Whether Jiva and Sharira is one or Jiva and Sharira is different. This some 10 questions the Shishya asked, and the Buddha said, right now, for the moment, just forget the questions and you continue to your sadhana. So then the Shishya said, oh, that means after sadhana, I will get the answers. He said, no, you will not get the answers. The questions will not remain. So even a thing like whether the creation is done or not, because creation means there has to be a time when it started, and there is no time in Brahma. When timeless thing cannot create something which has time, how it is possible? That is why creation is impossible from the point of view of Brahma, while creation has become possible from the point of view of inside the creation. One who is into the spell of magic, magic is existing as true. But from the juggler's or magician's point of view, magic is not existing. Hari Om.
Just one more question. I will finish now. The snake is away from me, actually. But beyond the time and space, if we speak about it is not away from me, I am the snake only.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The rope, I am the rope. The snake is the perception of me which is non-existent. My adhyakshata, my nature is a rope. But I feel I am the snake because of my wrong perception. The snake itself is not at all existing. But its existence is perceived by me. Then question comes, why do you perceive a snake when you are a rope? This particular trickery, this particular fraudulent activity by which you think you are snake rather than the rope, Arjuna, this is the role of Maya, avidya. Hari Om.